What's up, guys? GIJOE here with another look at some of the figures we had this week. Today we're looking at the G.I. Joe classified Blaine Mainframe Parker figure from Hasbro. So yeah, this guy is basically the latest wave to come out. He came out last week or so, I believe. I got him early. I just haven't had a chance to do a review on him. So this this whole wave came in, you know, this month, and I think they were expected to come out next year. So, you know, that's really cool. You know, we're finishing up the classified line. I really strongly believe that this is going to be the last, next year will probably be the last year of classified. I mean, I don't know, I'm just assuming, because it looks like we're getting everybody. And Mainframe is definitely one of those that we didn't get in the 25th anniversary line. So it's pretty cool that we are, did he come? You know what? No, I'm lying. He did come out. Did he come out in the comic book 2-pack? If I'm not mistaken, I think he did come out, but it wasn't like yeah, no, he did come out. So, you know, but it's pretty cool that we are getting him classified, and he does look really neat. As you can see, he comes in that standard box packaging with window packaging, where you see the figure inside, and you got all his gadgets and stuff like that. So Mainframe is basically a communications person, kind of like Dial Tone. So, you know, those two, you know, we'll be working together, and of course, and I believe Zorana is his main squeeze, right? I think so. I don't know. Anyway, so, and let's look at this a little closer. As you can see, here's a figure inside. Got some lint. So, you know, on this side is his attributes. He has the QR code. Here is his very generic you know, art. Not really a big fan of that. He is 178 in the line, and there he is posing out. So, you know, yeah, pretty cool. So let's get this guy out of the packaging and a closer look at the G.I. Joe classified Blaine Mainframe Parker figure. All right, here's Mainframe out of the packaging. Looking pretty cool. Like, he's definitely one of those figures that, you know, how can I say, like, yeah, I mean, he's I mean, not a really main essential figure, but he is basically one of those that finished the line. So, you know, looking great in this beautiful, this gray color, you know, looks really neat on him. So let's get a closer look. There's his face. Kind of looks like, kind of like Falcon, right? Maybe it's his cousin or something. So he comes in this gray suit, you know, and there's, I don't know, is it two different tones, or that's just the lighting? So here he has, I guess, some gadgets here over his lei right there. And then he has a gun holster right here. Then the numbers here, you know. And then another spot for, I guess, a knife here, a knife sheath here, and then another gun there. Then he comes with knee pads. I haven't seen knee pads since Tunnel Rat, so that's interesting. Of course, he probably needs to be on his knees to communicate. Well, that sounds horrible, children. Oh, he has a patch right here. Not sure if you can tell me what that means in the comments. I'm sure it's some type of military patch. And then he has, oh look, he has the cables red and yellow to hook up his audio stuff. Yeah. And then his boots are black, and yeah, really, really cool. I like the face sculpt. That's really detailed. Nice hairdo. I like the way they did the fade on that. So yeah, like I said, he looks like Falcon. Not the ugly one, the other one, the Night Force version. So, all right, so he does come with quite a bit of stuff. So let's start off with his other head sculpts. So he is talking to somebody, communicating on them. So I mean, I think the only thing I think is weird about this for me is that the original helmet was black. So oh wow, this is not, I have to really push it in there. Kind of looks like you know, he works at McDonald's or something. I mean, it's a pretty cool head sculpt. Like, it's really cool. I'm surprised that they just didn't do the hat and the goggle thing. But yeah, over this head. So, okay. It doesn't look bad. It looks kind of cool. That's, I guess, a modern take. And if you wanted to do the vintage take, you just put on this helmet. on him. So, which I think is probably what everyone will do. Let's get, okay. So, yeah, but that's what everybody remembers him as by. So, you know, I think we're going to keep that one. So, and then he comes with his communications backpack. Yeah, is there any other? Okay, so I could have sworn this thing like had like a hook or something, but I guess it doesn't. So let's see here. Well, let's look at the backpack. Okay, got some numbers on there, scanning, connecting. Has a little fan, like it's a little, you know, thing. Does this open up at all? Why do I have a feeling like it does open? Does it? It looks like it wants to open up, but I guess it does. Are you sure it doesn't open up? No, it doesn't. Why does it look like it wants to open up, though? I hope I don't break it, but why do I have a feeling it opens? No, it doesn't open. Huh. I mean, you see how it's dented there? Like, you look, oh, it does. I'm telling you. Yeah, look, it's coming. Am I breaking this thing? I mean, it looks like it wants to be open, or is it just me? Maybe not. I don't know. It looks like look at me messing myself. I gotta check because I'm not too sure. But anyway, here's the backpack. And then he comes with this thing. Not sure what the hell this is. Calling. Is that some sort of communication thing? Yeah, I don't even. Okay. I don't know. That's weird. And then, what the heck is this? Yeah, but it looks like this goes here. Okay. And then his pistol, which should go here. Come on, get in there. That's perfect. And then his knife, which has a great tip, goes in here. And then a hose. So I guess this goes like in there and then in here, which is kind of weird, but okay. Does it go in here? I mean, there's a hole there. I don't know. I guess that goes in there. I guess. I don't. How about the hose? Oh wait, of course he has this. Does this open? Something has. Yeah, this has to open. Aha. Okay, so this opens. I was trying to open the backpack. That's funny. So, wait a minute. Why is everything falling apart here? So I'm assuming that this goes in this hole because this is the only hole that I see. I just can't get it in there. Yep. Lord. Okay, yeah, you just gotta really stick it in there. Children, get your mind out of the gutter, please. Okay. So yeah, I guess that's how it goes here. That's kind of weird how this hose kind of like goes like that. And then he has his little computer. That's already in the briefcase. And we got the secrets. Oh, Jesus Christ. So I'm trying to remember, was an episode on G.I. Joe where he was like, had an affair with, not had an affair, but he was feeling or liking Zarana? Was that an episode? Did that? Do anybody remember that episode? I don't know if I remember that episode. But yeah. It was, right? I think I mentioned this, recently saw it. So I'm thinking this little thing goes here, I guess. Yeah, it doesn't, I mean, yeah. It looks cool. I mean, it looks like Mainframe, So we're not going to get a retro version because this one looks really cool. All right. So we're going to get him on my turntable to get our final thoughts on the GI Joe Classified Mainframe figure. All right, real quick, before I do my final thoughts on Mainframe, I wanted to get into something that I just really noticed about him that a lot of people are kind of upset with. I didn't really realize this when I opened him. Mainframe wasn't really my go-to Joe. I of course I love the black and the grays. He does look great. I mean, he does look, vintage. But the problem is that a lot of people are upset of his height compared to other figures. Like, he's actually the height of Tunnel Rat. And it's so funny because I was like, when I heard about Tunnel Rat, I was like, please get them right. He has to be short because we saw the movie, da-da-da-da. Now, with Mainframe, I remember watching the cartoons, but I don't really pay attention to his height. So I was surprised that he is short. Like, he is as short as Tunnel Rat, which is very funny because it's like a lot of people are pretty mad about that. Let me go grab a Tunnel Rat real quick so I can get a comparison to... Where's Tunnel Rat? All right, I got the Ninja Force, the Night Force version. But as you can see, okay, let me redo that again. As you can see, they're basically the same height. And a lot of people are mad about that, which is funny to me because it's like, what? And I didn't realize that. So, if we put another character in, let's do, I guess, Sci-Fi. Sci-Fi is freaking huge compared to him. And I'm really shocked, because as you can see, Sci-Fi is a little bit more taller. I mean, yeah, it's really tall. So a lot of people are really upset about that. I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, like, it's just a toy, guys. But, he's a smaller guy. So I don't know, So, of course, Mainframe's main squeeze is Zorana. There was I believe there was an episode where Zorana, falls in love with him and all this. So I had to get Zorana to come out next, and I wanted to see the height difference. And yeah, she looks a little taller than him, but it's just funny to me how, people are just really mad about this. Like, they're like, oh, why is he so short? He's not supposed to be short. And like I said, I don't remember. I distinctly remember Tunnel Rat because of the fact that in the movie, he jumps on Big Lob, and he's so small to compare to Big Lob. So I thought, well, I knew he was small. But with Mainframe, I never really noticed it. It's just hilarious how a lot of people are just mad, Anyway, and if you're mad, if you're upset too, you can go and leave me a comment and tell me to be quiet about that because it's not right. But yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I just think it's funny. I didn't realize how small he was compared to other Joes. I know I was a little bothered that Leatherneck wasn't taller than he was. I think Leatherneck should have been a little bit taller, but it is what it is. These are just toys, guys. It's not real life. So, no one's dying, right? But anyway, here is Mainframe and Zorana. It's interesting how these two are, a couple, I wonder if you still like her if she was bald. Let's see. Do you still love me? I lost all my hair. I'm so stupid. All right, anyway, so let's go ahead and get Mainframe on my turntable to get my final thoughts on him. We'll be right back. All right, here are my final thoughts on the GI Joe Classified Mainframe figure. all in all, I think he's really cool. I like just this whole line, this whole wave was pretty solid. I mean, they were pretty great. It's a pretty great wave. I mean, we got sci-fi that looks like sci-fi. We got wetsuit that looks like wetsuit. We got mainframe that looks like mainframe. I mean, you know, these obviously are not going to be released on the retro card, which is great. I think, you know, I don't know. I mean, I just feel like this is how we should have got the other ones. You know what I mean? But anyway, you know, that's here nor there. A lot of people, like I said earlier, are mad about his height. I really don't mind. I think it's okay. I got over Leatherneck being shorter than he normally should be, I guess. But you know, it's no worries. You know, and it is what it is. You know what I mean? You know, in real life, guys, you know, there are people that are short. There are people that are tall. Like there's, you know, everybody's different. Everybody has differences. You know what I'm saying? So we can't be too picky on, especially on toys. Like, come on, life is too short. And especially all the BS that's going on in the world today, we should not be upset that Mainframe is 5'6". Ay, ay, ay. All right, so yeah, this guy is on Amazon, of course, and also I believe they're on available on Hasbro Pulse also. I think I saw them, and they are hitting Targets too. I think I did see him at Target. I nearly got him, and I didn't realize that I was waiting for wetsuit, so I didn't grab him. Look, I checked I was looking for wetsuit because I know all of them came in, and wetsuit was the only one that I was waiting for. So I was like, okay, well, you know, anyway, yeah. So what do you guys think of of Shorty here? Are you upset that he you know, is short? God, I'm sorry. It's just funny to me. Oh, one thing I have to do. There is one minor thing I don't like about this figure. That communication thing, that remote thing on the side, keeps falling off, and it's annoying. I wish there was a way that maybe that wasn't removable, or that was just. That's the only thing I can't stand about that, is because every single time it falls off, and you know it's dangling on him. But other than that, you know, he's a pretty cool figure. You know, like I said, you know, if you're trying to collect all the main figures, you know, all the mains, he's definitely one of the ones that you definitely need in your collection, and he does look cool with all the rest. All right, so let me know what you think in the comments, and until next time, we will see you later.
Ladies and gentlemen,
make sure you like, share, and subscribe.